Sports Radio 910's Gary Hess along with Gary Criswell. We're standing on the field at Scott Stadium in Charlottesville where this evening LC Bird Skyhawks beat Ocean Lakes 14-10 to win the Division VI state championship. Skyhawks finish a perfect 14-0. Gary, they deserve to be the champions.
Absolutely. They did everything they needed to do coming out of the number 4 hole in the Central region. They took on Hermitage, who we mentioned before might have been their biggest obstacle until this week. And they played an Ocean Lakes team, and like I had said before, they imposed their will on them in a lot of clutch situations, especially down the stretch, and that defense came alive. Paul Robinson and offense have been getting a lot of the attention, but that Skyhawk defense threw double zeros on them almost from the beginning, gave up a touchdown the first play of the game, limited them to a field goal the rest of the way.
Huge play by Ocean Lakes right out of the chute, and this Bird team never blinked, never panicked. 7+ minute drive to tie the game up and pretty much never looked back.
And that's exactly right, and it was a great quote from Tom Garrett in the course of the game that Bird never lost their poise when they gave up a touchdown in the first play. In the heat of the battle, Ocean Lake, with some unfortunate misconduct penalties, did lose their composure. And you know what? That was the measure of a championship also. The fact that Bird was able, in the heat of the battle, was able to keep their wits about them and didn't want to hurt their teammates.
You look at heroes tonight, Brandon Walker, Jaquan Anderson on the defensive side of the ball. The offensive line stood out. Paul Robertson, the front man for this program, but this team has had lots of heroes all year long.
Absolutely, and we were talking about some of the things that they chose to do, some key substitutions on offense because they saw, on defense because they saw a lot of things from the Ocean Lakes offense they had to counter, and then we were horrified. They took Robinson out on a key third down and fourth down conversion, and they went to 4 wides. And all of a sudden, Lionel Williams is in the flats, catching a pass and going, and he hadn't really played that many snaps. And that's what happens to our state champions. They managed to blend all these role players in there. It's good for depth, it's good for composure, and it gives the teams different looks from week to week. Because when you get there are no weak teams and there are no weak game plans.
Did you see this coming? This was a team coming into the playoffs. We did the Bird Hermitage game. Bird was the 4 seed, even though it was 10-0. We really didn't know what Bird was, even with a 10-0 regular season record.
I will tell you this. Once they showed the ability to throw the ball on any down, once they realized that let everybody else realize they were not going to give up on the power game. They were going to come out in the power eye. In 2 or 3 of their playoff games, they came out early in the power eye. Here, they used the power eye to finish the job and to push themselves out from the shadow of their own goal line. Once you started seeing that, you started feeling really good about their chances. I felt really good about their chances when they went 1-2 Hermitage and Verona on the road, and because I think you had a proven winner and a very, very consistent team in Hermitage, and you had a team with a great deal of firepower and a lot of personnel with a lot of talent in Verona, and I just thought it was a good test coming out of the region.
Bird has been an outstanding program for years and years. Every year they're one of the contenders, and now a state championship on the mantelpiece. What does all this say about Dave Bedwell? He has done a phenomenal job.
Well, he's been to 2 programs, and I guess he's 14, 15 years a head coach, and he's got him in. He's won a lot of football games, and he's now been in 2 state finals, and he's 1-1. And I bet he can't think of the old one. They can always
not
think
anymore.
Of this one, no, but he used that experience. He came here and he didn't change things in his image. He took the rough and tumble football Loyce Bird was used to doing. He not only kept it in vogue, he actually enhanced it. And now he's got some pieces, with some receivers and a quarterback in Irvin that he can mix things up and he can really evolve as a play caller, and you can be really proud of him. I've always thought he made great decisions as a coach, and he handled personnel very well. This is just a kind of a crowning achievement. It's well deserved.
Bird's program, their freshman team, their JV team, their varsity team, the 3 teams combined went 34-0 this year, and they're the Division VI state champions. An elite program, fair to say?
Elite program.
Elite program. in the Central region and in the state of Virginia. Well deserved. They're the state champions. Another great season, and we put the Central region to bed for the last time.
Yep. And, you know, you talk about great programs and carryovers from one year to year. Goochland suffered last year in a loss in the finals, and they came back with a vengeance.
And let me tell you, Goochland, if it had been a fight, they'd have stopped it. They absolutely beat the tar out of Essex.
Yeah, and that's I'm proud of Coach Fowler and his staff, and happy for those folks out there. And this is just a great way as we roll into. There's no more James River District. There's no more, region.
Who knows
Group
what
A,
we're going to see?
Region B or other thing. But all I know is we left with 2 Central Region teams at the top of their game with championship rings.
And congratulations to Goochland and to LC Bird, who here beat Ocean Lakes 14-10 and wins the state title. That wraps up another high school football season on Sports Radio 910 and SportsRadio910.com. He's Gary Criswell. I'm Gary Hess.